I do, and I think Bill's right in that a lot of cryptocurrency investors, they kind of live in the like the bubble boy and inside this bubble of just crypto. But you got to be watching like the dollar. The dollar is so important for crypto, and I would say the only new thing I've got going on is I'm just about to launch a educational three-course series called the Winning Trader Series, and I don't know if you guys can see my screen, but
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
excited about that. It's about 20 hours of recorded. I had to do it up for this, but anyways, bottom line is it covers discipline, emotion, all the technicals I use. So it's kind of exciting, It's I was able to partner with some really good companies out there to help bring this out, where they handle a lot of the other stuff. I just focused on the education, and yeah, I mean it's exciting. Should launch in about a week. I will say that I'm midterm bearish, so I'm near term bullish. I'm long Bitcoin, long Ethereum, but I do have a midterm like turnaround point at some point in the future. So I don't know if that counts, but I don't know
what does
Bill's view is
midterm? What does midterm mean to you, Gareth?
midterms like 3 to 6 months out kind of thing. So I think you could get kind of a 1 to 3 month kind of continuation grind sideways to up here. I love the 32,000. Again, number one, I love GAN. I use the wheel. I don't calculate all the fancy stuff myself, though. That's beyond my. But you can see right here. So I mean, and what's amazing? So see this downsloping trend line. Where is it? Basically, right around that 30,000, 32,000 area right there. So it makes a lot of sense. We could go up there. I have my first target short-term upside at 25.5 right here. This is the Terra Luna low, and then all this consolidation here should be a ton of resistance around 28.5 or so. And then obviously you have this sloping trend line. So I think that we go up, we take out 25.5, we test this area. For me, I think at that point we start turning down again. You see another leg lower, and I still have us going down to $12,000, $13,000 before all is said and done. And I would just like to say, just something out of interest, and I got my chart up here, is that, in history, you actually see that type of thing happen. Like with Bitcoin here, if you go back to 2017, you had this monstrous drop from about 20,000 all the way down to 5,800, 6,000, right? And then what did it do? It went from 50, basically,
like
let's say 6,000.
$12,000.
It went all the way back up to 11, almost 12,000. So it basically went the equivalent of going from 17.5 to 35,000, doubling. Then what happened was you went sideways. So bear with me here. You really just ended up going sideways for a ton of time. And this is kind of almost where I think we are right now. We're getting this big bounce where, again, we could see that 30, 32,000, maybe even more. And then you saw this long sideways chop before that final flush out. And that's kind of, weirdly enough, I wouldn't be surprised. And I know you guys can't see down there. Let me zoom it out. But this final flush was the final bottom on Bitcoin. So again, who knows if it replays that way, but I think it's important for us as traders and for individual investors to just be aware. You can get a 50, 100% rally in Bitcoin and still be in a bear market. Well, I mean, Polkadot, I think looks good as well. But I'll do Solana. I'll just do some analysis on Solana. Cool. That's one of the favorites of everyone here. Well, not necessarily the panel, but people love it. So
if you like it for shut, if you like getting shut down all the time, we definitely like that.
But if there's money to be made, let's keep an eye on it. So what I like about this is you had this kind of breakout pattern right here. You broke above, you confirmed. And so what I would say is, I'm not in this currently, but I'm looking to maybe buy a retrace to what I would call the scene of the crime, which is right around $37 or so. And if you do that and it starts to trend up, and let's say we do see Bitcoin and ETH and all these others go up, I mean, you got some decent upside on this, probably minimally to about $58, $59. And from, again, 37 entry, you're talking about a pretty hefty percentage move. And in the scheme of this, I mean, look at how little of a bounce that is. I mean, you could even talk about maybe the moonshot getting all the way back to 79.80, but I would say 37 looks interesting on a retrace if you retrace that breakout candle right there. I do, and I think Bill's right in that a lot of cryptocurrency investors, they kind of live in the like the bubble boy and inside this bubble of just crypto. But you gotta be watching like the dollar. The dollar is so important for crypto, and if you look at this, right, let's bring up the DXY. The DXY was on a crazy up move, and then notice how the dollar pulled back. DXY is the dollar, and this pullback coinciding with this charge on ETH as well as Bitcoin and all these cryptos, right? So keep an eye on that. And one of the things that makes me bullish on not just crypto but also commodities and so forth near term is if you look at the bigger chart, right? The dollar just slammed into some serious resistance here. So at least in the near term, that's kind of the bull case. And I agree. I think later in the year there's going to be trouble, and it's not that a lot of people would say, oh, if the Fed kind of backs off their rate hikes, that's bullish for risk assets, but it's only bullish if they haven't crushed us into a recession. And you also have to, so the recession side, then you take a look at something like the NASDAQ, right? We know how basically the NASDAQ, the S&P is so correlated with crypto. And look, this same kind of low, higher, low charge, that's the NASDAQ chart, which is almost exactly what the Bitcoin chart is. So the idea is if all of a sudden we slip into a rough recession and the Fed can't print money because inflation is still at 5 or 6%, well, then you have a stock market that's headed 20, 30% lower. And that's where I get my kind of bear midterm case from.